Hello Virgo, my name is Agatha and this is a tarot reading to find out more about you and your romantic you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know. I'm not going to give you timing to this reading. I don't know when this will happen, 3 months from now, 1 year from now, 10 months from now, I have no idea. This is going to be a Celtic Cross spread, which is a 10 card reading. I'm sorry again. And this reading is going to be for those who have either the Sun in Virgo, the Moon in Virgo, the Rising Sign in Virgo, or the Venus in Virgo. If you'd like something similar to you, I can do a reading like this for you for $25 US. You just have to write to dunyazade@gmail.com and I'd be delighted to work with you. And whenever you see this reading is the time in which you were meant to see this reading, meaning, again, I'm sorry, meaning it doesn't matter if you see it now or if you see it like a year from now. Whenever you see it, it's the right time for you to see it. Also, please be patient because I'm doing this little by little. Eventually, all the readings will be up in my YouTube channel, and I'm asking you also to pick now one of the 3 cards that I'm showing you, okay? And at the end of the reading, I'm going to tell you the meaning of these cards. So the cards that you can choose from are the Sun, Mountain, or Ladder. Sun, Mountain, or Ladder, okay? Pick one, and at the end of the reading, I'll tell you the meaning of these cards, okay? So I'm going to use to you, Virgo, the Fairy Lights Tarot. And let's go to the reading. Let's see what you need to know about you and your romantic soulmate, Virgo. You and your romantic soulmate, Virgo, you and your romantic soulmate. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see how many major arcana cards you have. So, okay, 1, 2, 3. You have 3 major arcana cards, so maybe perhaps it's gonna depend, okay? For some, it could be that this reading might resonate for about 30% of the people who see this video. But anyway, let's start. So you and your romantic soulmate, what you need to know, Virgo. As the central theme, you got the 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups is like the most happy you can be, like the most emotionally fulfilled you can be. So this relationship might represent to you emotionally fulfillment. And again, I don't know if you have met this person or if you are already with this person, or if you are going to meet this person. I have no idea. So this person might represent to you like the most happy you can be, or at the same time, because this is a 10, it feels like the closing of a cycle. Maybe you've lived a lot in terms of your love life, Virgo, and this person, this romantic soulmate, will be it kind of depends, okay? For some of you, he or she might represent like almost like a karmic gift or a closing of a cycle. And in this closing of a cycle, there's another card that tells me that you get rewarded with your soulmate. Does this make any type of sense to you, Virgo? Then in the position of that which is yet not seen, you have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is connected with, something which is fast. And here it seems to be like seems like fire from the sky almost. This is also called in some decks like the arrows of Cupid. So this could be you meeting someone, your romantic soulmate. You have like a passionate love affair with him or her, and you meet him or her, and this could be this could develop into passion rather quickly. Another way of reading this card, the Eight of Wands, is connected with traveling aboard, traveling by air. This could be also traveling by boat, because I see a boat in this card. So in a trip, and I would say maybe a trip abroad to a foreign country, this could be a trip that you do for vacation, or a trip connected with your business or for business reasons. You might meet your romantic soulmate, and you might, you know, fall in love rather quickly. This could be a very passionate love affair. I don't know if you're going to stay with him or her. It again, sorry, it depends. This could, you know, this could be almost like a brief encounter, something that happens, but gives you a lot of happiness, gives you a lot of faith, and it feels like a gift, and the type of gift that kind of sustains you for the rest of your life, if that makes any type of sense. I have no idea. I'm sorry, again, I'm sorry. So again, it depends, okay? Like for some, you meet this person, you're gonna be together after you meet him or her, and you stay with him or her. For others, it's just like, even though he or she is your romantic soulmate, you're gonna stay with him or her for a very short while, but it's intense and extremely happy. At the root, you have the seven. The causes, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and here it's a woman, and she's contemplating something. It's like, it feels kind of like your life is stagnant, somehow stagnant, and you are in a place where you are pondering and thinking, and you don't know exactly what to do next, and maybe or maybe at a time when you are feeling like this. It might not be now, it might be, I don't know, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, or the other person or your soulmate might feel like this. When there's like some sort of reflection and meditation and all of that, when you don't know exactly what to do next with your life, what is the next chapter of your life, then is the time when you wanna meet this person. Or maybe he or she is feeling like this, or maybe it's both of you, when you are like living a very peaceful sort of life, but you don't know what to do next, then it's the time when both of you meet. What else? It also feels that you are alone. Maybe for some of you, some of those who are seeing this reading, you might be single. Because I see a card, it's a woman and she's single. It's one woman in the card, and she's looking. It's almost like peacefully single, and you're not expecting anything else. Not expecting any type of, you know, change or big change in terms of your love life, Virgo. Now, the past influencing the present and the future. You have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles it's a slow-moving card. That tells me that in the past, in connected with love relationships, your love life was very slow-moving. Things didn't, you know, move fast. Things moved very slowly. You know, maybe because you're cautious. Maybe some of you might. Now this might represent you, like you're a slow-moving person, and you. At the same time, it's like the Knight of Wands represents slow moving in terms of committing. Like you need to really develop a relationship with someone you need to really know him or her, Virgo, in order to commit to this person. That's like, you don't do things fast. You don't like meet him or her, you meet the person and like next week you are already boyfriends. That doesn't work with you, Virgo, okay? That really doesn't work with you. But at the same time, when you commit forever, or, you know, you're there through, you know, the thick and thin, it doesn't matter to you. I mean, you stay and you stay and you stay. You are very faithful person. You're a very persistent sort of person. And maybe, and you might have behave like this in the past, in a relationship that you had, or with other relationships that you might have had, or this might represent someone in your in the past with whom you had a relationship, and this could have been like a young person, more or less in the 20s, 30s. No, more like between 20s and 30s, between his or her 20s or 30s, you know, that type of bracket in terms of age, from a earth sign, Virgo, like you, Taurus or Capricorn. But this person left, maybe took like a while to leave, but you know, you had a relationship with this person, but he or she left. And you know, maybe you've been together for a very long time, and you tried for a very long time, but it didn't work out. And maybe, you know, this person didn't change. This person was, how do I say, a bit boring, was not a risk taker. And maybe some of you do like, you know, things which are smooth and not taking risks. I'm being very general here, Virgo, because you might be a Virgo sun, but you might have like a stellium in Leo, or a stellium in Aries, and that changes everything. So maybe this person left because maybe you just fell out of love after many years, or maybe there's no evolution, there's no transformation with this person. Maybe you evolved and you transformed, and maybe he or she didn't, and you felt like bored. Yeah, maybe you felt bored. Now, this also might represent, for those who believe in that, hypothetical past lives, the Knight of Pentacles. So you might, like in the past, might have had a relationship with your romantic soulmate, and this relationship with your romantic soulmate might have happened in another, you know, lifetime, and it was, you know, patient, like a patient relationship, where both of you endure whatever you needed to endure, where you stayed together, and you were both very faithful to each other, very resilient, and you know, your love grew together. So maybe you already met this person in a prior lifetime, and you already had a very long-lasting relationship with this person. Now, that which is in your mind, or that which you want, Virgo, you have, think this is the World card. I'm not 21. Yes, 21. It's the World card, and it's an egg. You want total. I'm sorry. You want total rejuvenation in your life. You want total transformation in your life. Some of you, I'm sorry. Some of you might want to become a mother or a father, a parent, because I'm looking at the egg. So you might want to become pregnant, or you might want to have a child. Others, it's like this person represents total transformation in your life. This person comes into your life, your romantic soulmate, and completely transforms your life. The world is connected with Saturn, with the planet Saturn. So this romantic soulmate might appear in your life, Virgo, when you are having an important Saturn transit. An important Saturn transit. This could be, you know, to your Venus, to your again, I'm sorry, to your Venus, to your Sun, to your Moon, to your rising sign, to your Saturn, to your natal Saturn. When there's like an important transit to your Saturn, when there's an important transit of your Saturn to your natal chart, and this could be conjunction, square, opposition, this is the time that this person might show up. Okay? The World card also speaks of beauty. This person might be very beautiful. So he or she might be absolutely lovely and beautiful, and just, you know, the type of person that maybe everyone notices, because I'm looking now at the Eight of Swords, I'm sorry, the Eight of Wands, the type of person that everyone looks upon, like, because he or she is so beautiful, so good looking. So you might be mesmerized by this person when you first see him or her. Now, the near future, I'm going to read this as the time when you first meet him or her. Now, I'm thinking that you might not have yet met this person in this lifetime. You know, I'm maybe in a previous lifetime, yes, but not, I would say not in this lifetime. So I'm thinking that the near future, again, I cannot give you timing. This could be a year from now, 3 months from now, 10 years from now, I have no idea. But I'm going to read the Four of Swords in terms of near future as the time when you meet him or her. So the Four of Swords, you see here, it's like a little figure, and this figure, there's like 4 lights. I think it's 4 lights. And above, there's like a big light that's shooting up to the sky. And in the background, I don't know if this is the moon or the sun. The Four of Swords usually speaks of rest and, relaxation, somewhat, relax. It feels, this card tells me that there's a feeling of being alone. And the Seven of Pentacles tells me the same, like a feeling of being alone. But you're not unhappy to be alone, Virgo. You're like cool. I'm cool with this. I have no problems with being alone. There's this feeling. Okay, you want to meet him or her at a time when you are relaxing, when you are resting, when you are recuperating. Also, you might be ill and you might be recuperating from some sort of illness. Also, but I'm really focused on this lightning, this light shooting up from the ground up. It's like when you meet him or her, it's like your life gets illuminated from the ground up. It's like a light that shines upon you, but it's more like a light that lights you up from your feet to your head to the sky. I don't know if this makes any type of sense. It's like, I'm going to give you another example, Kundalini rising, if that makes any type of sense either. Probably not. But I'm not saying that you are going to go through literally Kundalini rising. It's more like in a metaphorical sort of way when you meet him or her. It's like this awakening. And there's another card that tells me that there's like an awakening. Now, it could be you meet him or her when you are recuperating from something, when you are resting, when you are relaxed, or it could be him or her. It could be your soulmate who is recuperating from something, who's resting, who's relaxing. And when your soulmate meets you, it's like his entire being or her entire being gets lightened up. It's like he gets illuminated. He gets awakened or she gets awakened. Okay? Now, the next card represents you, or it symbolizes you, Virgo, and you have the Ace of Wands. Again, this is a brand new beginning. This is a passionate new beginning. This is a brand new passion. You have not met this person yet, I would say. You don't know him or her yet, Virgo. And when you meet him or her, it's like a brand new passion, a brand new love. It's passion. It's passion at first sight, I would say. You might meet him or her at night, because I'm looking at this card and it feels to be in the night time, and the night time is illuminated. How do you call it? Fireflies? Well, those little bugs that illuminate the night. In Portuguese, we call it pirilampus. So, it might be like a warm summer night like that, with, those little bugs. Yeah, you might meet him or her in the night time, Virgo. Now, The next card represents others, people surrounding you, or it might represent him or her, your soulmate, or it might represent how other people will see you and your relationship. You have the Major Arcana card, which is Judgment. Judgment is an awakening. Sorry. So an awakening to happiness, to joy, an awakening to passion. Also, maybe before him or her, you lived a very boring sort of life, not filled with passion. Maybe before, also I'm looking at the Knight of Pentacles, you might have always been single. For those of you who never had a relationship, you might have been single, or you've been single for a very long time, and it was like a very calm, no taking risks sort of life, very peaceful but boring life. And now when you meet him or her, Virgo, you get awakened. You awake to a new life. It's a transformation. It's a big transformation when you meet your soulmate. Again, he or she might stay with you for a while or forever. It doesn't matter how long he stays with you or she stays with you, but it's going to represent a big transformation in your life. If this card might represent him also, so this big transformation is for him or for her, for your soulmate. So when your soulmate meets you, it's like either you transform his life or her life, or you're going to meet your soulmate at a time when he is being transformed or she is being transformed. Maybe for some of you there's some sort of illness and your soulmate is recuperating from some sort of illness, and it almost feels like he's being brought back into life, he or she. So maybe your soulmate had some sort of problem, some sort of the Eight of Wands is also accident prone. Maybe there's some sort of accident that involved fire with your soulmate, okay? Like a quick accident involving fire, and your soulmate needed to go to the hospital, needed to recuperate, maybe almost died, and when he or she is almost healed, like at the point that is almost completely healed, maybe it's the time when you meet him or her. Also, this card is how other people see you, Virgo, or see your relationship with him or her. They see as the relationship that both of you have as very transformative, very for both of you. It's like a relationship that changes both of your lives, not just yours, Virgo, but also the life of your soulmate. Now, the next card is in the position of hopes, fears, dreams, and advice, and you have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. Wow, this is kind of scary, this card. Like, it's like a woman. She's like trying to not fall off a branch of a tree, because below, those who have fallen have died, because there's like skeletons below in a swamp or something like that. It's kind of a scary type of imagery. So you fear that you're afraid that this love, this person, your soulmate, the relationship that you have with your soulmate will never, it's not actually transforming your life. You're afraid that it will kill you somehow. It's kind of like there's no point on being with him or her, because you feel that this transformation might actually kill you, but it's not physically kill you. It's like killing part of your personality. Maybe that's what you're afraid of, because you don't want to give up part of the personality or part of yourself that should be eradicated, because you know the Judgment card is connected with Pluto, and Pluto the transits of Pluto, they come and they take. They come and they take. So, and it's very painful for those who don't submit. They don't submit to Pluto. People who don't submit to the transits of Pluto and on your natal chart, usually the change comes. The change always comes, but in a very painful sort of way. So it feels like that. It feels like you don't want to transform yourself. You're afraid of giving up part of your personality, giving part of your old life, because you think it's way too much. So it might be painful if you behave like that. The Hangman is a card connected with sacrifice. You're afraid of sacrificing part of yourself. You're afraid of sacrificing so much that you will lose yourself within this relationship. You're afraid of that. What else? The Hangman is also called. It's connected with, you know, seeing things in a different perspective. You know, also taking a pause, not deciding. So if I read this as an advice, the advice would be try to see things in a different perspective. Try to see them in a new perspective. Also, as an advice would be sacrifice part of yourself that no longer serves you. You know, there's some sort of sacrifice that you need to do. And maybe within this relationship you will do it, but if you are not in this relationship, you would not make this sacrifice. I don't know what sacrifice it is. It could even be, for some of you, sacrificing relationships, other relationships surrounding you. It could be your family, it could be your friends, but relationships that don't help you grow. It could be that, and maybe you are afraid of that. Maybe you are afraid of sacrificing certain relationships in your life in order to be with this person. But maybe the only way for you to advance is to sacrifice, is like to, you know, take out certain people out of your life, even if they're family, it could be friends, could be, you know, and you're very afraid to do it, and maybe with this soulmate you will be able to do it. Again, as an advice, it could also be take a pause, think, because there's another card, the Seven of Pentacles, that tells me also the same. Think, reflect, you know. The Four of Swords also tells me that. It's like, it's a mix of thinking and pondering and reflecting. Do I want to be with this person? And the mix of, the other part is something happening quickly, like this. Unexpectedly something happens and you meet this person. And this person changes your life. Now the outcome, you have the Nine of Pentacles, and here it's a little, no, not a little, it's a woman, and there's fairies surrounding her, and they're carrying some sort of fruit. So she's being surrounded by little, I don't know, little fairies. The Nine of Pentacles speaks of independence. It's a card connected with being independent, with being alone. So you might decide, some of you might decide to not stay in this relationship. You meet your soulmate, but you might decide not to be with him or her. So you stay with him or her for a while. But even if you do decide not to stay with this person, even if that's your decision, this person is still going to have a very large impact on you, because at least after that you will be left with the ability to be alone in a more uplifting sort of way. Maybe before you were alone but not as happy, but after your soulmate leaves you will be able to be alone in a much more pleasant way and be happy, be more happy. You'll be happier even though you are alone. And the same could be said towards your soulmate. Maybe he or she also had a problem with that, and now even if you don't stay together for a very long time, when you part in a very good way, and you are able to be alone on your own. Another way of reading this card is that maybe you are together, but you live separate lives. Meaning, maybe you have your own house and you stay in your own house. Maybe your partner or your romantic soulmate has his own house or her own house, and you both live apart but together but apart. There's like there's a healthy independence between both of you, and there's and there's like this ability to grow your life because you have met this person, you have met your soulmate. It's like your life flourishes even in terms of money, in terms of financial abundance after you meet him or her, and you might have the courage to go out on your own in terms of work-wise. Maybe you're pondering of, for instance, maybe you worked for a company for a very long time and you were thinking for a very long time, should I start my own business? And you were afraid. And then you meet your soulmate, and then you have a relationship with him or her, and after that you have the courage to go out on your own, like opening up your own business, starting your own company, even starting freelance work, whatever it is, and you are very successful because the world card also tells me that you have much success. So it's like this person gives you strength to be on your own in terms of finances, in terms of money making, in terms of job, in terms of career, and this person represents like happiness in your life and allows you, just helps you or teaches you how to be happy, or allows you to be happy, or just gives you some sort of happiness, and you can represent the same to him or her. Okay, and there's some success connected with this person. This person also can be very successful in terms of, he or she might be, like I said, very beautiful, but he or she could be a foreigner. It can be a very successful foreigner also. And he or she might have had some sort of accident, as this accident, for instance, in your country, and then maybe is recuperating in a hospital or somewhere where you live, and you meet him or her during this time. Feels like he comes to you, kind of like that. Kind of depends. Okay, so now remember those 3 cards that I showed you in the beginning. I'm going to show you again: the sun, the mountains, and the ladder. Pick one. Okay, pick one. So I'm going to give you the meaning of it. So if you have picked the ladder, it means that between 10 and 20% of this reading relates to you. If you have picked the mountain, it means that between 80 and 90% of this reading relates to you. If you have picked the sun, it means that between 40 and 50% of this reading relates to you. Okay, so that's it, Virgo. This is the reading that I have. Again, it's a very general reading. If you'd like your own personal consultation, please write to dunyazade@gmail.com, and I'd be delighted to work with you. Bye bye.